See this big thing up here? That's my old new school. I'm gonna bring y'all to see how we pimp that. Got this big hog sitting on 30s with a Rolls Royce front. But this how we pimpin' candy with the 30s. Blowing big, doing it big, you heard me? Automatic out here, you might have about 2 million in cars.
Check out the car running, volume 3. You'll see some clowning video with it, with the real owner, not baby.
East Coast stunt, Midwest stunt too.
So y'all, this Congo, man. I'm just gonna start out with one thing. Imitation is the best form of flattery, you hear me? Real talk, but for all you good brothers out there and for you good haters, you know what I'm saying? This is what it do right here. This is Cincinnati at its finest, brother. You know what I'm saying? Holding it down for the Nasty Natty. Remember that? 513, baby. You hear me? Shouts out to everybody in the Nasty Natty. You hear me? From top to bottom, you know how it go.
I came in the world crying and fussing. Nigga, we ain't have nothing. Every ghetto, I know the same. We trying to make a little change. Preacher man come around talking. I don't wanna hear you keep walking. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man.
It's your boy, C-Go. You watching J-Ray, 513 TV. Deuces. Guess what? We talked about you about a week ago. Not even. They was asking where the Ray Dollar release party was, and we're telling them vault. People who have been here for years. Once we told them, where it used to be Adam the jewelry store. That's Adam's boy. Because remember your face? You was a motherfucker. Like, I don't know how long was it? 8 years ago? Yo, ratchet ass window. Face on the fucking window of the business. You remember that, love? Remember when he had the jewelry store? You drive by that motherfucker every morning. I drive by to work. I see Adam's face. I said, this motherfucker's a genius, man. Look, he gonna make sure you see his face if he at work or not or whatever. This is Adam the Jew, the fool. But that's what's up, though.
That's my cousin Jay right here. I also do all of my videos.
Congo knows me.
Okay,
It's hard to bring anybody in here I don't know. I've been seeing bro for like years, man.
You understand that? Bitch, I'm the man.
What's going on, y'all? I'm Adam, also known the brand hero. I'm here with the man, Congo, right here. I am a entrepreneur, multi-entrepreneur is what they call us. When we have multiple different entrepreneurial ventures. I started in this city in 2003 doing jewelry. I built up 3 different jewelry stores, one of them being my own. 2 of them still in business right now. Also built my own photography brand and company, which is still doing great numbers right now. Built so much in business. I have such a strong passion for business that I thought that I would go out and reach out to other entrepreneurs just like myself and just get their story so you guys have a different perception of whether it's clothes, whether it's a cook, whether it's a tattoo artist. That way your story can relate to their story and you know next steps to take in your entrepreneurial venture. Congo is a staple in Cincinnati. He has multiple different businesses. This wonderful, how many years been here?
14 going on 15 right
years,
now.
Clothing store, a predominant clothing store in our city. Also the owner of a vape shop now, restaurant. I know I'm probably missing something in there. So we're going to, get down, tell your story, how you became the man you are today. I think I seen a photo of you saying you worked at McDonald's before.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if that was something that was serious.
That was dead serious, man. I worked at Popeyes, McDonald's. I've done door-to-door sales. You feel me? But started at really a young age. Like when I was even younger, probably like 8 years old, 9 years old. I would go to the neighbor's house, try to cut their grass, throw out their trash, whatever I could do to make a buck, in the neighborhood is just get some money. And basically it carried on and, I'm here now. And, you make one move and make sure you act like it's your last move, and invest all your, just because you make this much money don't mean you need to spend this much money. you got to reinvest that money, you know, so the money can work for you.
I'm glad you made that point, because a lot of people kind of don't understand that entrepreneurship isn't something that's like, most of the time, isn't something like, I got this idea, I'm just going to do this, and that. Let me see if I can get a loan. Let me see if I can get some money from my peoples, and then just do it. That's 90% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. And a lot of it has to do with a lot of people didn't have that entrepreneurial, I guess, heart, you know, that drive, a better word to say. Me, myself, when Napster came out in high school, like, I would make my own mix CDs and go to high school and be playing my stuff. They'd be like, dang, how you did that? Went to West High and Withrow, so predominantly black school. So I'm like, shoot, I can make you a CD. They give me a list on Friday. Monday they got their music. I would go to school dead broke on Monday. Come out of there with $45, $55, just cash. Like the CDs, the pack of CDs, you know, they cost
trust me, I knew
10,
guys like you.
bucks.
I used to have to pay you for those CDs all the time because I didn't know how to use Napster. Trust me, so.
Right. So, you know, having an entrepreneurial spirit is very important. And it's not something that can really be learned, but it's something that you can grow into if you really put that drive into it. So I'm gonna just have a few questions from some viewers, some comments that they had. How was your childhood growing up? Like, what made you, I guess, instill that drive up into entrepreneurship into you?
Well, basically, you know,
Where you at?
I grew up rough. You know, I grew up on the south side of Chicago. You know, and what they call Chicago now, Chirac. Well, yeah, so it was rough growing up. You know.
Come up here.
That's basically what gave me my motivation is, you know, as I was a kid and growing up and seeing people whose parents did well, you know, and not as fortunate as, you know, my family, I said, you know, I want to be like those people, you know. Unfortunately, I couldn't be like those people because they were my age, so I started saying I want to be like their parents when I grow up. So I had higher goals, but that's what it is, though, just drive and devotion.
Right, and it's something that most of the time it does come from, when we hear stories, it's always, I had nothing growing up, so I had to go out there and get it. And I can relate to that, too, because we got shoes and clothes twice a year, income tax time and school. That's other than that, like, my mom made sure your shoes better last, even if I literally remember the front of them talking a little bit. Like, I remember those days. You know what I mean? Is exclusive wear your first actual business? A lot of people don't talk about failures, and that's something that I do talk about and emphasize to people, because some people don't even start their business venture out of fear of failure, and they don't understand, and it's not out in the mainstream media, that a lot of billionaires, millionaires, 100,000aires, they failed somewhere in there, whether it was a big marketing move that failed, you know, they put 100,000 into marketing and it failed, whether they put 200,000 into a business that failed. Was exclusive wear your first business venture, like out the gate? Like, did you say I'm going to do clothes, this is how I'm going to do it, or did you do something else and then it led into?
Well, I worked in a clothing store for years, and this was back in Chicago, and then eventually my mentor in Chicago moved to Cincinnati, and he told me, you know, they really wanted me to move out here, so he kind of invested in me, you know, and one thing led to another, worked hard, and, you know, we're here, you feel me?
That's what's up, that's what's up. So, of course you have this store and you built this up. Did you have any other ventures or joint ventures with someone who, and that venture might have failed in some way, shape, form, or fashion? And I only ask that because, like I said, there's a lot of, there's real life people who won't start their business out of fear of failing. And they can become successful, but they're so afraid of failing, and they don't even understand that there's millionaires and billionaires who have failed either in that same thing that they did, and they did it 1 year later and succeeded, or they went out and tried to do something else and that failed. So I really want to emphasize to people that failure is a part of entrepreneurship, period. Maybe it's a small scale, maybe it's a big scale, maybe it's you put $15,000 into some marketing and it didn't go, you didn't get the ROI, didn't, you know, pay off as good as you thought it would be. So there's, you know, just want to talk about that. Like, has there been anything that you've done that has failed, and so what was it? why you think it might have failed?
Well, I failed a lot. Yes, Exclusive was my first business as far as that I owned, but in the last 15 years I've been here, I had 6-7 locations. The economy hit in 07. We had the downsides. We had a store in Price Hill. We had, we had another store, we had a ladies' store next door. So we downsized a bit, and I learned not to put all my eggs in one basket. But yeah, I failed at a lot of stuff, man.
Okay, that's what's up. So, for those people, because we know fashion is big now in Cincinnati, there's so many boutiques popping up, so many stylists popping up. Is there some sort of, I ain't gonna necessarily say blueprint? You say, you came up here with someone who already had like clothing store already, so you kind of got inherited into it, but was there like the grind of still, even though this was already kind of sort of established, how did you grind and blow it up as big as you had? Because it was,
Well, see, this is the thing. I always, like I said earlier in the interview, I always worked in a store like this. So when my mentor, he decided to move to Cincinnati, and he had a store, on another side of town, he called me and said, listen, I'm going to open up a store, you run it, and after I'll cut you in like a percentage. And later down the line, I ended up owning the business. So I started as the worker. You understand what I'm saying? And worked my way. But basically, I built a brand. You say Exclusive, they're gonna just write it. Say Congo. You feel me? So I built a brand, and basically, I built a brand back when there was no Facebook. There was no MySpace. You feel me?
Right.
There was none of that.
Right.
So you had to get out here on these streets. You know what I'm saying? Right. And you had to interact with the people, no matter what neighborhood you went to, what atmosphere, whatever. You just had to go out there and make yourself known, make yourself present. And with no Facebook, that was hard as hell. Okay? Like, you really had to leave a lasting impression on somebody in order for them to remember you. And basically, it all comes down to how you treat people, brother. I shake hands with a rich guy just like I'll share hands with a poor guy. Feel me? I'll shake hands with a happy guy just like I'll shake hands with a rude, grunchy old son of a gun. You feel me?
Right. And I see it, and I guess that's, now that you mentioned that, I see that that's what has made me as a success in this city as I've been, because I started back when MySpace was just coming out, but MySpace was cool, but it was really just a place for cool backdrops and stuff like that. I wasn't even really promoting the jewelry on there, but I was out in people's faces. I was out in the clubs. I was shaking people's hands. People knew me. People respected me because I was doing jewelry. I wasn't in the streets. I wasn't doing all the riffraff and whatnot. So I really do understand that concept of branding, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. I'm here now. I haven't posted jewelry on my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, nothing, in I would say over 2 years. Yet to this very day, literally just 3 days ago, somebody inboxed me, you got some jewelry, what you got in? So I, on the average, get at least 1 or 2 inboxes per week, or get tagged to a post whenever somebody's talking about jewelry, and I haven't done it in 2 years. That's the power of branding. And I try to explain that to so many of my clients, that branding is first, because that's the depth. Once you have that depth, you can last forever in whatever it is that you do.
Right? Exclusive wear, Cincinnati, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky. We in Naptown. Come check us out at the store. We cater to only to niggas like us, for real. You know what I'm saying? So we used to seeing all them big time player ass motherfuckers all day, every day. Y'all know who I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
But I know they want to get into a boutique eventually. What do you have any do's and don'ts? Give it to them raw. From jump, like what do you advise for them? Starting out the gate. Let's start there. Coming out the gate.
Sweat, blood, and tears. Basically, sweat, blood, and tears. If you ain't ready to grind, if you ain't ready to have sleepless nights, be worried all the time, thinking about bills. Like, it's very stressful and overwhelming. Like, it's just like an athlete, man. Most normal people growing up, they, you know, go home after school. You know, athletes, they gotta practice their, you know, their trade. So same thing in business. You just gotta stay consistent, stay professional. You know, if you really have a dream of opening up a boutique, you know, you just gotta really, you need that startup money. You know, and fortunately with these days, your startup money could come from good credit. You know, so you can have a regular 9 to 5, making money, you know, paying bills, getting by, and you want to start a business. You apply for credit cards, and you work that credit. You fuck around and have 3 credit cards worth 40,000, whatever, 50,000 after a few years, and you go and open up your boutique with the credit cards. You know, I opened up a smoke shop with fucking credit cards. You hear me? $100,000 smoke shop, like fucking with credit cards. You know, no cash. But you gotta understand, when you have a business, the money you make on a daily basis, that's not your fucking money. That don't mean you can get to go pop bottles with that shit. You need the re-up, feel me? And it's a business, so you just basically really gotta, like this old rich white guy told me one day, he said, son, you look like you're gonna be an important guy one day. He said, this is what you do. He said, you watch the pennies, the nickels, and the dimes, and let the dollars do the rest. So that's deep, like in business. You really gotta cut corners, not cut corners, but save money, you know? Ask these vendors for a discount. Try to cut down on payroll, you know? If it's not hot, don't put the air conditioner on. You gotta really, like I just said, what I just told you, you know? The nickels, pennies, the dimes, you know?
Yeah, that's dope. I'm glad he really hit on a few points that I always try to stress to my clients is entrepreneurship is hard. And there's so many of those Instagram and Facebook that says, you know, watch this webinar, make $10,000 in 2 days, and that's a lot of BS that's going on. But real entrepreneurship takes hard work. Like literally, people, like I've lost friends, family, all of that over, you know, being an entrepreneur, not going to family events because I gotta hustle, not going to birthday parties because I gotta hustle. So they like, oh, you're not messing with us. And you get them friends that are always in your ear. Oh, you too good now. You think you better than us, but it's like it ain't even that. You just really grinding. You really out here getting it. You know what I mean? And another thing is you have to look at your business as a real life business, and I talk about my failures all the time, which is why I failed when I had my shop downtown Vine Street, King of Diamonds Jewelry, because I looked at it as a hustle instead of a business. And when I looked at it as a hustle, it was boom, I made $800 today. You know what I mean? I'm about to go to Walmart, buy this, and the third, put gas in my car. I didn't manage my money the way it was really supposed to be managed because to me it was a hustle. I had to connect, got the money, got the jewelry, used my own money, and sold it like anything else. And that's where I feel that with my business, I express that to all the people that I know, is if you have a real life business, you have to look at it like a business. No hustle. Period. It's got to be a business. But I want to thank you for taking this time out to talk to us.
Thanks for being here, brother.
Really do appreciate it. It's going to be a lot of valuable information for these people. And, you know, hopefully it's going to be the start to many. You're going to see Congo a lot more, because the next one's going to be in his smoke shop or his restaurant or his real tea business. It's going to be somewhere else. But appreciate the opportunity.